Hey, you're watching iAllegedly. I'm Dan. I've got a good one for you today, but we've got a bad problem. And that is that people are starting to realize that they don't have any money. And the businesses that they deal with, they're realizing even more. So let's get into it. Please comment in the video. Please share the video. Today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold, and I'll talk about them in a bit. But let's get into it. First things first, Dollar Tree just announced their numbers. And, you know, they were not that bad, but they were bad. And what I mean by that is, you know, last year they did $32 billion in sales, and this year they're going to do just under $30.6 billion in sales. They still made money. They did not lose money, but they have a real problem because the CFO, Jeff Davis, steps forward and said, it is apparent that our core customer that is value shopping and bargain shopping is not coming out. They don't have the extra money to buy things. Now, let's face it, before Dollar Tree was the $1.50 tree or $1.25 tree, whatever the joke is, they were a great place to go. You get, 6 tubes of toothpaste for $6. You go get your aspirin. You go get your shampoos for $1. Everything was great. Total value, totally great place to shop. And everybody would overspend when you'd go there. Oh, you go in there for 1 or 2 things and spend $30. It just happened all the time. So lately, what's happening is that sales are off a ton right now. And they know it. And Mr. Davis, the CFO of the company, when the numbers were announced, he's saying, we can't stop this. We're trying, but we can't stop it. Now, they're going to blame it on a few things. We acquired a few of the 99-cent stores and we're converting them. Guys, it's like 150 stores. It's nothing. It's not like that's going to dramatically affect everything, but it's not going to make your sales drop by adding new stores. Yes, you're going to have expenses to adding these new stores. That's true. They also have a bunch of litigation where people were injured in the stores and things like that, and that's been very costly for them. So, these kind of funky geese up here. So with that being said, you've got a store chain that is absolutely off. And think about this, $4 million. Oh, look at the babies. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's what they're protecting. Okay, so we'll just leave them alone. So think about this, guys. When we throw out numbers, nobody sits there and looks at it and says, oh my gosh, it's $1.5 billion. Well, that's a lot of money, guys. Year over year, think about this. That is just over $4,109,000 a day. Let me say it again, $4,109,000 a day in a sales decline. Who's not going to figure that out? I mean, everybody's going to feel that at the company. The other thing is the stock is down 42% for the year. 42%. Now, other companies have tried to, halt a sales decline. Target has had success with it, but I don't shop at Target anymore for a myriad of reasons that we've talked about in the past. Macy's has tried this discount shopping thing, and it doesn't work because here's the thing. If you're going to go buy a suit or you're going to go buy a nice blouse or something higher end, you want the quality to be up there. You just don't want a $20 shirt. Sometimes things are more expensive for the better quality. But then you go to places like Nordstrom's and you can spend more money and get better quality. But the Dollar Tree is, man, they're just losing money at this point. It's going to have a sales decline in such a way that they're going to start losing money. And they're going to close 1,000 stores this year. That is nuts, guys. They have another store called Family Dollar that I've been into, and I filmed there about 8 months ago. Horrible store. We sell more food here. It's the food you wouldn't want to buy. I have an engineer friend, Mark, who I call IT Mark, and it pisses him off every time he hears that. But engineer Mark has been really good with me when it comes to eating properly and not eating processed crap, eating natural foods that are real and consuming things that are better. When you walk into a Family Dollar and the food that they have there, I mean, I don't know what you could eat there between you and I. So these Dollar Trees are affecting everything. Absolutely losing ground. and people don't have the money. This is the economic decline that we are going through. We hear about the layoffs every day. We hear about all the cutbacks and everything that's going on, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Now, a friend of mine is a hairdresser, and I ask her all the time, talk to her, about her business, what's going on, and she says, wow, I'm really starting to see it, Dan, and I've been paying attention to everything you're saying, but the salon as a whole, I walked in there this week, and it was completely off. Now, you can sit there and say, oh, it's just after Labor Day, kids are going back to school. No. Women are postponing getting their hair done. Men are postponing getting their hair cuts. Women are postponing anything extra. My extensions aren't that bad. I'm going to wait. I'll see you in a couple weeks, to where they're slowing down. Now, you can sit there and blame one hairdresser and say, oh, well, your clientele is not fond of you right now. That's what the delay is. No. The problem is people don't have the extra money right now. That is the problem that we are seeing over and over again. So, women cutting back on extras. She went and got her nails done, and I said, ask the nail salon how they're doing, and the nail salon is off now. Now, this is one of those, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let me put it that way when it comes to getting your nails done. But I've seen women that have really cool nails that look like they're painted on, and they're patterns and things like that, and their toenails and stuff. And they have a machine that does all that stuff, and it paints everything nice. And if you want flowers, or you want hearts, or if it's the time of the year you want Christmas on your toenails, you can do that. And they used to be waiting in line for this. Not anymore. So, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. I'm sure it is. But the salon as a whole to get your nails done is off. Now, the hairdresser's like, do I switch salons? Do I change salons? And I'm like, no, your core clients are still there. They're still there, but this is the sign of the times, guys, that everybody is off right now. And people are spending less money than ever right now. And this economic downturn that we are all living through globally, it's happening. And I am telling you guys, don't spend money on things you don't need. Don't piss money away. Now, you can sit there and go, Dan, you're just talking about painting your nails with funky patterns. Nobody needs that. You're right. Nobody needs that. But tell a woman, okay? I've been married, had lots of girlfriends. Tell a woman, you know what? You can't get your nails done. You can't get your hair done. You got to do it yourself. Imagine saying that to them. How would that go over? Seriously. It should be the butt of a joke, guys, because it's not. But the guy that does work on my car, every time I pull in, slowing down. Do you need anything done? Do you have any friends you can recommend? I always recommend you guys. So the problem with it right now is that it doesn't matter what industry you're in, people are spending less money. Your job is to spend less money. Your job is to make as much money as you can right now and not to overspend in any way, shape, or form. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know if you think I'm completely off base with this, or if you think that things are great with places like Dollar Tree. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Guys, think about this. Bank of America just said, do what central banks are doing, and that is buy gold. There's a great recommendation. Gold has gone up over 20% this year, while the NASDAQ, that's AI driven, has only gone up 17%. Protect yourself, protect your future. Contact Patriot Gold today. You can call them at 888-330-1431. Get a free investor guide. They will answer all your questions. They have an IRA and 401ks that are backed by precious metals. Contact them today. Think about this, guys. Bob Kudla himself said that we may see dips up and down in metals prices, but the sky is the limit when it comes to gold and silver. Take a look at it today. Contact #1 Patriot Gold. Been #1 rated with Consumer Affairs for 8 years in a row now. Contact them now. They will answer all your questions. Call them today. 888-330-1431. If you don't want to call anybody, just use the link below. Click on the box, answer the questions, and they'll send you out all the information. But contact Patriot Gold to now before it's too late. there's a few things in the news that are concerning you have to look at. One thing I found interesting was the Federal Trade Commission. They're tired of people complaining about services being dropped by companies after people pay for things. In other words, you pay for something, you buy a device, for example, and they drop features on it. Oh yeah, that's not covered under your purchase plan anymore. You've got to pay separate for that. Well, what's happened is the Federal Trade Commission says when you sell a device that has different features like that, you have to notify people now when they anticipate that they're going to change features. So you can make the decision before you purchase it, like, oh, this has got a long life to it, I'm gonna keep this, that's great. Now, the next thing is Google. Speaking of Federal Trade Commission, it was determined that they had a monopoly when it came to search. Well, there is what they call a remedy hearing starting today, and the remedy hearing is going to be interesting because what do you penalize a company like this? What do you charge them with? And the idea with it is, you know, we've all paid for ads, but they're saying that because they had the monopoly on it, that people were paying substantially more, and this could cost Google as much as $100 billion. Man, that is just, when you think about that, that's staggering right there. So what's the right number? You know, we've all paid for those ads for a business, and you know, per click. I used to make a lot of money. I have a lot of domain names, and one thing that I did in the past was I would have domains parked at different ad agencies, and let's say it was a lawyer-themed domain name. I would make a substantial amount of money on ads that were clicked on it, and eventually we just had this set up to where all they were ads. And this has been changed. You cannot make any money doing this anymore. But this was, you know, 20 years ago, basically. I made a fortune doing this, small fortune. But the idea with it is those ads people were paying substantially for. So that's done. The next thing, numbers that we have to look at that you can't ignore, and that is the job numbers right now. So with the job numbers, ADP does a private payroll report every month. The private payroll report this month had the lowest number since January of 2021, over 2.5 years, and that's they only added 99,000 jobs in the private sector. Guys, with people slowing down, companies laying off, this is awful, guys. This is not getting better right now. Now, here's the problem with the ADP numbers. For the last year and a half, basically almost every month, they've been off and get revised even lower. They have not been revised up once in a year and a half. So what's going to happen? Is it only 60,000, 87,000? But 99,000 is a horrible number, and that shows you what's happening in the economy right now. I want to remind you guys that we have the private channel right now, which is iAllegedly Live, and you sign up for it at www.iallegedly.tv. Completely uncensored, all the stuff that we cannot talk about here. So many of you have signed up for it. I'm super proud of it. Check it out today. Last night, I took some friends to the baseball game, and one thing that I like to do is, you know, I have friends that maybe have never met each other, and you know, you try to get different personalities together that you know that are going to blend. So I'm thinking, who would be good to invite? So my buddy that I call IT Mark, and he hates that, he's Engineer Mark, he's a super brilliant guy, and worked for a lot of, you know, video game designers, production, movies. He's done everything. And I'll have him on someday because he's got a great story to tell in different areas. But we were talking about all the hackings and all the companies that are getting hit up right now, and he has to go in and fix these problems. And he has a client right now, I don't want to say the city they're in, but he had to go there and drive a ways to get to this place. And I'm like, why are people not being, you know, ahead of this? Why are they not trying to fight these hacks up front? And he agreed with me that there's a problem with that. Another one of my buddies is one of the foreclosure friends, Jay, and Jay has been posting a tremendous amount of commercial foreclosures lately. And yesterday in San Pedro posted the Crown Plaza Hotel. Okay, guys, $20 million loan, hotel going out of business, hotel getting foreclosed on. Imagine staying there, okay? Imagine you work there and some guy's posting a notice on the front door of the hotel. Hello, this is the shape of things to come. You're gonna see more and more businesses like this go out of business, but a hotel's not paying its bills and can't refinance its debt and has a real problem. So do they go back to the bank? Will it get sold? What's gonna happen? And then my other buddy, I really like Nick. Nick's a good guy. Nick has been CFO for 3 public companies and been CFO for a bunch of different companies and just got fed up with it. Got fed up with doing that and was trying to be a professional golfer at one point. Says, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go teach kids how to play golf. So he consults financially on the side and teaches kids to play golf in Orange County, California. And, but super sharp guy. But just no stress, no stress. So again, everybody's got to do their own thing. Everybody's got to be on the same page when it comes to, you know, as far as your household making money together. There is a taxi insurer, American Transit. Think about this. In the second quarter, American Transit is the largest insurer of taxis in New York State. They lost $700 million. So many people are going through lawsuits right now. You know, people get injured. Uber drivers use this place for insurance. Can't get paid. Can't get paid out because the insurance company looks like they're in serious, serious trouble. So what's gonna happen, guys? And it makes you think, you know, no one thinks about this. When you leave the airport, you hop into a taxi cab. Hey, are you insured? Is it paid to date? No one asks that. No one says that at all. So read the story below because it's wild. American Transit is in real trouble because they lost so much money over the course of the second quarter of 2024 to the tune of $700 million. So let me know what you think about this so far. It's very hot out today and I'm walking in the shade. It is absolutely blazing out here, and I'm gonna finish this video with this last story. And I get a kick out of the green initiatives. And one thing that we had out here in California, I think we were the first state basically to do it, and that was the big wind turbines when you leave Banning and you go towards Palm Springs, California. There were hundreds and hundreds of wind turbines that were basically big windmills to generate power. And they started to sell this around the country, and there was a company called Canvas, C-A-N-V-U-S, Canvas, and they were going to be the big wind turbine company. And in Grand Meadow, Minnesota, they shut down and are now defunct. The problem is that they left all the wind turbines just stacked up on the side of the road, and some guy went to start cutting them up, and the Public Utilities Commission said, you can't do that. We have to determine the value and what they're going to do with it. But they interviewed executives for this old company. They said, listen, we want to make something crystal clear. We have a new venture, and it has nothing to do with 2 things, Canvas and also those abandoned wind turbines. So the sick part about this is that tens of millions of dollars gets given away to these people for this green energy. And then things don't work out, they don't run a decent company, they lose money, we're just gonna shut down. So we've seen it time and again. Solera, that was during the Obama administration, but this is happening over and over again. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Read the story, it's the last story in the video description. But come on, guys, this is getting ridiculous. You know, a lot of places that put their bet on wind lost because it's not windy all the time. Oh, is that an issue? Now, there are areas here in Southern California, and I've been there. Can't film there because the wind is just blowing up the coast. If you stuck a wind turbine up there, you'd make money hand over fist because that thing would just spin nonstop. It's not like that everywhere. So let me know what you think about everything. Reach out, hello@iAllegedly.com if you want to send me any stories. I appreciate everything that you guys send out, okay? Onward and upward, and I'll see you guys very soon.